AutoCAD is an digital drawing software, digital drawing tool. Okay, so going back to the old days when engineers and architects they do the drawing by hand on tracing papers, right? Do any one of us have any experience drawing on tracing papers here? Not anymore.
The architect.
Architects, huh? So for us, we do this before, no? And the the concept of the construction drawings back then is we are using tracing papers for what reason? So of course, tracing paper to trace the drawing. Usually, the drawing will start with the architect. He will he will place the layout, walls and rooms and everything. Then he will give it to the structural engineer. The structural engineer will place the columns, no, the supports based on his drawing. So that's another tracing paper putting on top of the architectural. And then later on, they will give it to the MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineers. Now we even have the firefighting, we even have the data and everything. No? So before, these are so many tracing paper put on top of each other. Now in AutoCAD, we made life little bit simple. We have what we call the layer properties. So if you can see the graphics in layer properties, this looks like different layers of paper. Okay, so this is the concept of AutoCAD to enable you to work faster by having different layers. Okay, so that's why when I teach AutoCAD, the first lesson is always layered. Okay, before we go to the layer, let me just show you the interface. So this is what we call the drawing interface. It's Windows based, so we have the tabs here from home, insert, annotate, parametric, view, manage, etc., etc. So there are so many commands that you can use. The commands are based here. No? And then we have what we call, when you open your drawing from the beginning, you will have this start window. Okay, so when you need to start a new drawing, you just basically click start drawing and it will start a new drawing. For example, if I just click like that, I will have a new drawing. Okay, maybe you will ask, why is this white and why is this black? Okay, can you tell us, Engineer Hussein? Yeah, okay. So this is the paper space or the layout space. So this is like how you will print the drawing in a paper. So you have the title block there and the other space here for the other drawing, which this drawing also have here. We have what we call the model tab and the layout tab. So the model tab is where you do all your drawings. Okay, and then the layout tab is where you arrange your drawings. You arrange it based on the scale that you need, and then you print it according to the size that you want. Okay? Yeah, I think you already know the different paper sizes we have from A4 to A0. Okay, the biggest paper that is in the market. So these are the two spaces, model space and paper space. So for the first 4 sessions, we will be concentrating on model space only. Okay, we'll just be doing all the drawing, the basic tools, and the layer control here and the black space that I have. No? We will dedicate at least 2 sessions in creating layouts and in preparing your printouts. Printouts means you print in an actual printer or you print as a PDF. Okay. So now let's go to the tools of AutoCAD. These are the drawing tools. Obviously, you see there, draw. The ones that are here are your drawing tools. We have another one, another tray that we call, which is for modification. Modification means when you need to copy, when you need to move, when you need to erase, etc., etc. The third tray here is what we call the annotation. Annotation is in adding text, adding dimensions, and adding notes in the drawing. The fourth one that you see here is the layer properties toolbar. We will explain that later. This is the first lesson. The other ones here is for the blocks. You will learn blocks next session. And this is for the properties of the layer as well. And we have measure here. Obviously, when you have a drawing, you can use the ruler here to do the measurement and among other tools that we have here. Later on, you will learn all of those. So let's now go to layer properties. When you click layer properties, this will pop out. Okay. So you see this many layers already. These are called layers. Layer 0. This will be layer A doors, electrical, plumbing, blah, blah, blah. Now, if you start your drawing with you, if you don't have a template, you will only have layer 0 and depth points. There will only be 2 layers there. So by default, if you have successfully installed 2021 or other version that has the templates, you will be able to have these layers by default. Okay, and if you don't want these layers, you can delete them. For example, I don't need all of these layers, these architectural layers. For example, I will just click and press shift up to here, and I can just delete them. Right click, and you can just delete the layer. Usually, some of the layers cannot be deleted. For example, depth points and layer 0 cannot be deleted. Current layer, the one with the check right there, which is A walls, is the current layer, so it cannot be deleted. Okay. So some of the layers are deleted, except for the current layer, which is the check now. So what does the current layer mean? Anything that you draw in the drawing space will fall under the layer of the current layer. So now it is A walls. If I go to my drawing area, let's say if I draw a circle, this will be in the layer called layer called A walls. If I draw again another rectangle, probably this is again in the layer called A walls. Okay. So now before we do the drawings further, let me explain to you how drawings are done in AutoCAD. There are 2 ways. One way is to click the command here. Okay, so for example, I need a circle like what I did earlier. I just click circle, and then you have to talk to AutoCAD. We have what we call the command prompt. This is the command prompt, the white box under your at the bottom part of your screen. It will ask you for many things. So you have to read it after you click a command. Okay, so if it says specify center point for circle, so you have to specify a center point for circle. So anywhere in the drawing area, you can just click and then you'll create your circle. So this is not a completed command yet because it is asking you another question. I hope it's clear. It says specify radius of circle. So you can either enter a value. By the way, we'll be using millimeters for the duration of the course, okay? Since this is what we use in the millimeters. So if I say 2000 millimeters, obviously that's 2 meters. I can type in 2000. You see that I type 2000 and then I just press enter. So automatically the circle that I just created is a circle with a radius of 2 meters. Okay. How do I know that? We can check using the ruler. So it will say that the is that the radius? Wait. Yeah, the radius is 2000. Okay. So is everything clear so far? Okay. Again, before we continue, AutoCAD is based on what we call the Cartesian plane. Anyone remember the Cartesian plane back in college? Cartesian plane is where the y coordinate is, which is the vertical coordinate. I cannot draw it. The y coordinate and the x coordinate. So if you remember your geometry, okay, this is the x and y coordinate, and it starts at 0, 0. The intersection is 0, 0, and it counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to forever. Okay, and then going down will be negative, obviously, right? Negative up to infinity. And also when it goes to the right, that's positive value on the x-axis, and the other one is negative axis. So if I draw a circle now, what you see right here is the y and x coordinates. So right here, this is 0, 0. 0, x, and y is 0. So if I draw another circle, let's go draw another circle. Earlier, I've shown you drawing a circle clicking from here. There's another way to draw a circle by typing a specific command. So if I type C, all the commands that starts with C will pop out. So you can easily select circle, and then again, it will ask you for all of these things. Now it says center point for circle. Now I want to specify 0 for the x-axis, comma, 0 for the y-axis. Actually, there's a z-axis. So usually it's 0, 0, 0. But it can be disregarded since we are working in 2 dimensions. We'll not be using z-axis for now, just to keep your mind not confused. Okay, so after you type 0, comma 0, press enter. That is very important. So, see, the origin of the circle or the center point of the circle fell on the origin. Origin is called 0, 0. So now the same thing, we can specify the radius of the circle. Let's say we'll be having a bigger circle, 4,000 millimeter, press enter. So that is the circle that we have. So similarly, if I need a rectangle, I can just click here. This is the rectangle. And again, it will ask for the center point. I will type 0, comma, where's my comma? 0 again, and press enter. Again, it will start right there, no? So you can, the next point, it will be up to you. You can just click it right there. If you don't need a specific value, it's okay. You can just create a rectangle just like that. So now everything that we drawn are falling on the one layer, which is popping up, which is what we call as a walls, no? But look, if I select any of the rectangle, let's say if I select this, I can actually change its layer. I can change it to dimensions, and it becomes red. This circle, I can change the layer to, let's say, text. So what is the use of having different layers? So now let's go to the layer properties. If I click this toolbar, the layer properties window pops out. And here we can see the layers that we have. So earlier we did one of the circle, we made it text. So here you can control it. You can turn it off, switch off that light bulb. And also the other one, which is, what is the other color that we use? Anyway, let's just use one. I switch off one and I'll close this. You see that the other circle is now missing, but we did not delete it. It was just turned off. Okay. I go back to layer. There are two ways to get this layer properties come out. Okay. You can click here or you can type LA and press enter. This will pop out as well.